Dot Solutions. Add-on desired.
Hello viewers, welcome to our Dot Solution Daily Current Affairs. I'm Lokesh Pengonda. This session is mainly designed for aspirants preparing for banking, groups and such other competitive examinations. We cover news articles from both the Hindu and the Indian Express. Make use of this session. So our first article will be dealing about the Sutra's approach to modeling the pandemic. So what is this Sutra's approach to the COVID-19 forecasting which has been criticized? Sutra stands for susceptible, undetected, tested positive, removed approach. So this is a COVID-19 cases forecasting model. So by using this Sutra's approach, the government was able to forecast the number of COVID cases that would take place or that would occur in the coming up weeks and in the coming up months. And it is stated that by using this model, they have come to a conclusion that the COVID cases in the country will peak by April 3rd week. So it is stated that the highest number of COVID cases in the second wave of COVID will be occurring in the third week. And also it is stated that the highest number of cases of COVID on a particular day will be less than 1 lakh a day. But what we have witnessed is even after the April 3rd week, the number of COVID-19 cases have been continuously on increase. And it is not 1 lakh a day, it is rather nearly 4 lakhs a day. So this COVID-19 cases forecasting approach has been flawed and it is not working properly. So as the number of COVID cases we are not able to forecast properly, we could not take proper precautionary measures. So this is why this approach to the COVID-19 forecasting has been criticized by the people and the experts. Next, we have an article dealing with the Election Commission. So, when is the Election Commission of India set up? This was set up on 25th January 1950. That is one day before the commencement of the Constitution. We know that the Constitution was commenced on 26th January 1950. So, it is one day before the commencement of the Constitution. And also you should remember the 25th January date. Why? Because as the Election Commission was set up on 25th January, every year we observe this 25th January as National Voters' Day. Why are we observing this National Voters' Day? This is to increase the awareness and to promote the voting in various elections that will take place in the country. And also you should note that the present Chief Election Commissioner is the 24th ever Chief Election Commissioner of India. And who is the 24th or the present Chief Election Commissioner? It is Mr. Sushil Chandra. In the image, you can see the left person who is Mr. Sushil Chandra, and whereas the right side person is Mr. Rajiv Kumar, who is the Election Commissioner. So in India, we have 3 election commissioners, that is 1 Chief Election Commissioner and 2 other election commissioners, whereas among the 2 election commissioners, 1 election commissioner was retired. So for now, we have only 1 Chief Election Commissioner and 1 election commissioner. This is regarding the Election Commission. And why are we having this article in today's news? We know that the High Court of Tamil Nadu has termed the Election Commissioner and the Election Commission as killers. Because even during the pandemic, the Election Commission has conducted elections in more than 4 states. So, the Tamil Nadu High Court is of the view that due to the conducting of this election, the number of COVID-19 cases and the deaths are increasing in these poll-bounded states. So, as the Election Commission is termed as killer, the Election Commission went to the Supreme Court to prevent any other High Court to use this wording on the Election Commission. This is regarding this article, and when the Election Commission is going to the Supreme Court to gag or to silence the High Courts and the press or the media, one of the election commissioners did not approve of this. This is why we have the Election Commission on the news today. Next, we have an article dealing with the POSOCO. It is stated that the COVID did not hit any control functions of the POSOCO. So, we'll see about this article. So, what does POSOCO stands for? It stands for Power Systems Operation Corporation Limited. So, the term POSOCO stands for Power Systems Operation Corporation Limited. It is a wholly owned company or a public sector undertaking of the government of India. So, it is a government owned enterprise, and this firm or the company comes under the Ministry of Power. So, what is the significance of this firm? It is the operator of the national electricity grid. It is the operator of the country's national electricity grid. And also, we have already seen the working of this company. Last year, we have witnessed the Prime Minister asking the entire citizens of the country to turn off the lights for 9 minutes at 9 o'clock to show our support to the frontline warriors. It is this firm which has operated and which has maintained the electricity fluctuation during this period. So, what we have is, when the entire citizens of the country switch off the lights and switch off other electronic appliances, the power demand will be very less, and after 9 minutes, if you switch on the entire electrical appliances and lights, the power demand will be very high. So, there should be an electricity grid that should be able to manage this sudden increase in the electricity demand, and this firm is the POSOCO. So, this is how the POSOCO is related to the COVID crisis as well. Next, yesterday, the Prime Minister of India and the Prime Minister of UK, which is Mr. Boris Johnson, has attended a virtual summit. And in this virtual summit, they have agreed upon the Roadmap 2030. So, they have agreed upon an agreement of Roadmap 2030. So, what is this Roadmap 2030 dealing with? It is an agreement to strengthen the bilateral relations between the country of India and the country of United Kingdom. And within this agreement, it is stated that the trade between these two countries, that is the trade between India and United Kingdom, double by 2030. So, this is the aim of this Roadmap 2030, apart from increasing the bilateral relationship between India and United Kingdom. And also, in the same virtual summit, they have agreed to start discussions regarding a free trade agreement. So, we know that after the Britain has exited the European Union, which we term as Brexit, the United Kingdom is planning to have free trade agreements and other trade related agreements with other countries. So, in this regard, the United Kingdom has initiated a process of dialogue to have a free trade agreement with the country India. So, this is relating to this virtual summit and to the Roadmap 2030 of India and United Kingdom. Next, today, that is the 5th May, we celebrate and we observe in general as the World Asthma Day. So, what is the objective of observing this World Asthma Day? The objective is to increase the awareness. It is to increase the awareness regarding the asthma disease. And you should know that asthma is a chronic disease. What do you mean by a chronic disease? It means once someone is infected with this disease, it stays for a very long time. And what is the 2021 theme of this World Asthma Day? The 2021 theme of this World Asthma Day is uncovering asthma myths. Asthma myths. So this is the theme of this year's World Asthma Day. Next we have an article where the Gujarat state is called as a retreating state, and also it is stated that if the trend continues, it may join the Bimaru states. So we'll deal with the concept or topic of Bimaru states. So Bimaru is an acronym which stands for Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh. But you need to know that this term was given way back in the 1980s. So in the 1980s, you need to know that even the state of Jharkhand, even the state of Chhattisgarh and Uttarakhand are also part of this Bimaru states, because Jharkhand was earlier part of Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh was earlier part of Bihar and Uttarakhand was earlier part of Uttar Pradesh. So these 7 states are called as Bimaru states. Then, so why are they called Bimaru? Bimaru is a Hindi word resemblance. Bimaru is a Hindi word resemblance for the word Bimar, which means sick. So why are the people calling these states sick? Because these are the underdeveloped states compared to other states. So these states are lagging in sections or sectors of education, health, administration, economy, and also in other positive sections. This is why people used to call these states as Bimaru states. Next we have an article dealing with the topic tea. In the image you can see the largest tea producing states in the country. So Assam is the largest tea producing state in the country, whereas the West Bengal is the second largest tea producing state. The third largest tea producing state is Tamil Nadu and the fourth largest is the state of Kerala. This is with respect to the India, whereas in the world the largest tea producing countries are China, which occupies the first position in the tea production. Next is India, which occupies the second position, and third is Sri Lanka, which occupies the third position. Fourth is the country of Kenya in Africa. So these are the largest tea producing countries in the world, and earlier we have seen the largest tea producing states in the country. Next we have an article dealing with Sanjeevani trucks. So Sanjeevani trucks were started by the government of Jharkhand, and Sanjeevani trucks will have oxygen cylinders. We have seen how due to lack of oxygen cylinders in various hospitals, many people who are suffering from COVID has died. So to prevent this happening in the state of Jharkhand, the Jharkhand Chief Minister has started this Sanjeevani Trucks initiative. This is regarding this article. Next we have an article where the S&P Dow Jones has launched the crypto indices. So we know that there are cryptocurrencies. We know that there are cryptocurrencies like Ethereum, Bitcoin. So these are launched in the S&P Dow Jones, which is a stock market, of United States of America. So for the first time ever, this cryptocurrencies have been launched in the stock market of United States of America. Next, we have an article where the Scottish First Minister has stated only the judiciary can stop the referendum in the Scotland. So first we'll see where Scotland is. In the image, you can see the Scotland. Scotland is a part of United Kingdom. So United Kingdom has 4 parts. In the image, you can see that England is one part, Wales is second part, Scotland is a part, Northern Ireland is the 4th part. So when we say United Kingdom, you are referring to 4 parts. Whereas when you say Great Britain, it only includes these 3 parts. And when you say England, you are only referring to one part of this entire country. So these are various parts. And you should know that the Scotland people are fighting for some independence from the United Kingdom. So what happened was there was an independence referendum. There was an independence referendum. What do you mean by a referendum? It is like an election. And in this election, the Scotland people have stated that we want to stay in the United Kingdom. We want to be part of this country. So in the 2014, 55% people have voted against the independence of Scotland from the country of United Kingdom. But what happened later was, due to the Brexit, the Britain or the United Kingdom as a whole has come out of this European Union. So what happened was, the Scottish people who lives in Scotland wants to be part of the European Union, because if they are part of the European Union, they can go from one place to other place without much restrictions. So people of Scotland are again seeking referendum, so that if they come out of this United Kingdom, they will be a sovereign country, they would be an independent country, and they can join the European Union again. But the Prime Minister of Britain, which is Mr. Boris Johnson, has stated we had a referendum in 2014, so for having a next independence referendum, we should wait at least for 15-20 years. And this was opposed by the Scottish First Minister and along with her allies. So this is regarding the Scotland and its debacle with the United Kingdom. Next, there is an article which stated that Egypt has bought 30 Rafale fighter jets from the country France. We know that India has bought some Rafale fighter jets from the country France, and now Egypt is also buying 30 Rafale jets from the country France. As it is dealing with the country Egypt, we will see where Egypt is. Egypt is predominantly on the African continent, and it has a small territory in the Asia as well. So what we can understand is that Egypt links Africa with Asian continent, and the capital of Egypt is Cairo. So you can see here the capital of Egypt. And also we have seen that there is a canal called as Suez Canal which links the Red Sea with the Mediterranean Sea. So there is a Suez Canal in this part. And you also have to know that the Suez Canal comes under the Egyptian sovereign territory. So this is regarding this article. Next, it is stated that the T20 World Cup might shift the venue. We know that the T20 World Cup is scheduled to take place in India. So India has planned to host this T20 World Cup. But what we witness now is, due to the increasing COVID number of cases, even the IPL has been called off. So the IPL is also suspended or called off. And now there have been apprehensions about conducting the T20 World Cup in India. So they are searching for an alternative location to conduct this World Cup. So what is the potential contender for hosting this World Cup? It is the United Arab Emirates. So UAE is a potential hosting country for the T20 World Cup if it is shifted from India. And with this, we have come to the end of this session. Inform about ADOT's initiative to your other aspirant friends. Thank you.
Add-on solutions. Add-on desired.